Happy Thursday, everyone. Maybe it's just me, but man, time is flying, bro. Like it's already November 6th. I feel like we were just celebrating Halloween. I don't know, that's wild. So, anywho, let's have a day. So, as you can see here, we are still on the dot, respecting this 679.85. So coming into today, I am open to trading the SPY, just a break and retest over 679.85. If we want to have a heavy day, I doubt it, but just in case we do, I'm still open to taking a long off this 673. But coming into today, really just looking for a break and retest over 679.85. Even if I don't take a trade off this level, just for the sake of market structure, I would just like to see it reclaim this level and then move higher. Sorry, SPY. I'm sorry, Qs. Kind of doing the same thing as SPY here. Remember, typically after a trendy day, we're followed up by a consolidation day. So if today just wants to be an inside bar day, I wouldn't be surprised. Yesterday we did have clean price action, but you can see here, it was an inside bar day. This is the previous day high and the previous day low from Tuesday, and then Wednesday we opened up middle of the range. But market, this was the pullback. So technically speaking, we're still in between the previous day high and the previous day low. So if Qs just want to do that, I mean, technically, I guess you can say we're starting to form a channel in here. We definitely are. If we just want to stay in between 626 and 618, that would be 3 days in a row. But like I said, if this market wants to stay heavy, still looking for this pullback from 612.80. Technically speaking, we still have a mini gap to fill under this. And obviously, if we do want to play pullback longs, we can always use the previous day low for that. But I wouldn't necessarily do that. Now, I want this trade outside of this channel because now you see we're starting to form a channel. So I really just want to break and retest out of a 626.60. Tesla, nothing for me until we break over 466. Like I've been saying, we're definitely in a channel. Let's go here on the 1 hour. We're definitely in a channel. There's no doubt about that. So now the A plus long is over 466.50. That's exactly what I'm going to be watching here today. Today's actually one of the first days we open near the top of this range. So hopefully we can do that. You can see, SPY, Qs, and Tesla right now is pulling back during the pre-market, but I'm no longer open to taking a trade off this 450. I don't want anything to do in this channel. And today would be the A plus long because we'll also be not only outside of this channel, but over the previous day high. So those are two confluences that I like. That means prices continuing higher and we're no longer in a range. So this is definitely a close watch. NVDA, we're just gonna watch. I told you, this is a key level here. Break a structural level or see if buyers step up here. So, this thing wants to stay heavy. I'm open to shorten off this level. But if buyers want to show their hands, I'm just as interested as going long off this level. So 196 is really our key level here on the day to tell us what we're gonna do here on the video. So that's also a close watch. Apple, dude, just still sitting in this channel. It is still sitting in this channel. So we're gonna be patient and we're gonna wait to get the break outside of this range. And then AMD. So like I said, you can look for a long off of 252.90, but now we're just in a no trade zone. We're in this channel. I'm not fond of that. So I pretty much hands off this name. I'll see what we do if we end up breaking our key level here, which is also now really going to be the all-time high. So I want to pull back long down here. I doubt we'll get that. I really do. We already got that A plus dip by yesterday. You can clearly see, but we weren't able to be a part of that. It's all good. But I don't want anything to do in here. I'll show you here. I don't trade zones. I don't trade channels. That's a no-go for me. There's nothing in there for me. So waiting for a pullback down here or a break and retest over this 264.60. But as you know, I will be waiting for very strong displacement. So really my main three is just going to be Apple, NVDA, and Tesla. Let's look at the side watches, Palantir, right? We just want to see buyers step up at 188 and push this thing higher. This is the pullback, right? This is the pullback. Last 2 days, kind of been consolidating at this level. We'll see what happens, but we know we are long buys on this name. This is the dip buy, so I am watching that. Nothing on hood for me. See, it's moving higher. Like it's going right back towards all-time high. Technically speaking, it would be this. This is all-time high created during the after hours, but it's not that far away. We're long buys on this name, just still waiting for pullback longs. So nevertheless, these are my close watches, NVIDIA, Tesla, and Apple. So let's have a day. All right, so I'm looking at some news here. I think this is why Google's popping.
My guest is Tom Hogarten.
During the pre-market. It was the company's most powerful chip yet, available in coming weeks. You can see Google's up pretty decent right now. Out of all the tech names we just went over, Google's the only one shooting to the upside. So definitely news catalyst play. Not surprised there. Tesla. Yeah, hopefully we kind of just get this little consolidation and we get this pop over 466.50. That's definitely on my main watch because that is our A plus long. We'll see if we can get a pullback dip here on NVIDIA. Seems to be holding up right now while SPY and the Qs is pulling back during the pre-market. And then Apple just stuck in this channel. So just going to be patient over here. Let's see. Yeah, today will be pretty much day 6 of Apple just being stuck in between 271 and 267. So we're going to be patient on this name. When it sets up, we'll be ready. We got about a minute and 30 seconds till market opens. So really right now my main watch is NVIDIA just because it's the only one sitting around a key level. And then Tesla's sitting at 461. And we're looking for the breakout at 466. So these main two is my close watch. NVDA and Tesla. 40 seconds. Let's see. We're just pulling back, but like I said, as long as we're in between the previous day high and the previous day low, technically speaking, we're not moving lower or higher. Kind of starting to form a channel here. Today will be day 3 that we're in between 679 and 673. So we'll see what's going on. We now don't trade the first 2-minute candle, so we'll see what happens here on Tesla. I'm sorry, on the video. Overall market's pulling back a little bit. I'm ignoring Tesla. It's really nothing for me if it's sitting in the middle of the 466 and 450. This buyer trying to defend this on the 15-minute time frame here on the video. She is very heavy. A lot of divergence here on SPY. I can get another pullback here. I like it. Clearly see buyer stepped up here on our key level. Kind of an aggressive entry here because it's 6:33, so that's like 3 minutes right in the market open. So if we get like another little pullback, I like it. Just kind of want to wait and see what this market wants to do. That was a good shot there. So we'll see. Perfect. That's nice. Like I said, I don't trade the first 2-minute candle, so that was an aggressive entry. This setup at, yeah, it's only 6:33. So with this market pulling back a little bit, I just want to be a bit more conservative. Definitely watching Tesla. If NVIDIA wants to give us like another pullback, I'm open to it. So we'll see. Obviously, nothing really going on here on Apple. Apple's just stuck in between this channel. But there's some divergence here. First 4 minutes of Qs, red candles, and then 6 minutes now on the SPY, straight upside. So as of now, every candle has closed red for Qs, and SPY's just moving to the upside. So this was a really good shot here. That was just very aggressive for me. So like if we get like a little another pullback, I'm open to going long off that. 2 days in a row, NVIDIA's really defended this 195. That's huge because like I said, this is a breaker structure level. That's really huge. I'm kind of waiting for Tesla. Tesla seems like it wants to. Like I'd rather take Tesla over NVIDIA. Like this is a good shot on NVIDIA, but Tesla's really the A+ setup, as we know. So we'll see. Yeah, this market's pulling back pretty heavy. That's why, yeah, Q's is heavy. Like I'm open to NVIDIA, but just with this market being so heavy, I don't know, I'm a little skeptical. Look at Apple. Everything's trying to push. Market's bouncing. SPY looks like it wants to break over the high of day. So just being patient here. I'm risking right under 195.60. So to me, it's a good shot. A bit more of a conservative entry because we had the instant retest at open, but I don't really like that. You can see a lot of divergence here on these names. I want to see if we can at least get this pushing a higher day. Looks good. Contracts are up like 5%. So like I said, we can get this pushing a higher day. Looks solid. This looks good. Right off the pre-market plan. This looks good. So I'm going to be very patient here, not trading my P&L. I want to see if this market can do like a V-shaped recovery. So we'll see. Like buyer stepped up very aggressively there. Come on, NVDA. Give us that. Nice. Very nice. Very nice. Super solid. Damn, I did not meant to scale out a little bit. Wait, am I still in? Oh, I think I have runners. Give me a sec. Damn. Yeah, bot shot. Solid trade. Bottom right, $3,400. Just right off the pre-market plan. Right off the pre-market plan. We were very conservative here. Like we got the instant retest at open, but I did not like that. I did not like that. And these contracts went to I think over 30%. I'm sorry, over 20%. That was solid. My apologies. I thought I tried to sell majority of my position, like 90%, because I honestly don't really like trading NVIDIA that much. But what have you always heard me say? NVIDIA and Apple, in my opinion, they are great names to trade on Thursdays and Fridays because on Mondays and Tuesdays and sometimes Wednesdays, the contracts don't move that well. They really don't. So very happy with the trade. Um, this market's starting to pull back. I know how NVIDIA is. So super solid. I mean, a $3,400 day within a couple of seconds, a couple of minutes, that's not bad at all. So super solid trade there, right off our pre-market plan, right? Because this key level, this 195.60, I mean, this is a big level. This is like, if we break under this, I've been saying, we can now like beat bearish bias on this name. So my goal here was to like sell 90% and then let the rest take me out for break even. And I thought I had scaled down on my what is it? Quantity size. Yeah, I thought I scaled down there to 90, but I didn't. But nevertheless, I mean, good sell. These contracts went, I think, for over 20%. Right? Plan your trade, trade your plan. We do this every day. Really that simple. This market's pulling back heavy right now. So look at that. This market's pulling back heavy. So yeah, it was a good sell. Sell into the push into the high day. If you watch the educational video I just put up, right? I saw a strong buyer step in at this level. See this candle, that momentum candle on the pullback? Strong buyer step in there. You can see we're having a clear support here, which is 195.95. And my stop loss, I'm risking right under 195.60. So super solid trade, good risk reward. I haven't taken a trade on a video in a while, but right off our pre-market plan. And as of now, this seems like it was a good sell. It was a good sell. Still, I wish I had like 10% of my position in this, but it is what it is. Let's see. A lot of these names are trying to hold up. It's just accusing the SPY. See that? Like I would want to read this. See strong buyer step in, boom, you enter right there. And this is even a better entry because your risk is right under this. So like these names are trying to hold up. It's just the SPY and the Qs. But like I said, give me one sec. The overall market is still stuck in a channel, right? It's still stuck in a channel. Of course, right? We got our A plus long yesterday on the SPY, but as long as price is sitting in between the previous day high and the previous day low, technically we are not moving higher or lower. I really hope that makes sense. So today's really just an inside bar day. We're really just moving sideways now. So when you see these names start to chop around, we can't technically like be too surprised just because the overall market itself is sitting sideways. I hope that makes sense. I'm very big on being one and done, but I don't know, bro. I got to take my shot on Tesla if it shows up. I have to. I'll go in very light, maybe like 10K, and just see what happens on Tesla. Solid trade here though, right? We planned our trade, we traded our plan, we were very patient. Solid day, $3,400 day. But the main thing about this trade is we ended up getting the retest. I took the same trade here. We ended up getting the retest at market open, and you saw me pass on that because for me, just for me personally, that was too aggressive. This even though these are 2 minute candles, we ended up getting this big jump at 633. At 633, and market just opened. I don't trade the first 2 minute candle. So for me, I was like, nah, that's just too aggressive. Did I FOMO? Did I panic? Did I say, oh no, I missed my trade? No. I said, if this thing pulls back again, I'll take my shot. We called it out. We waited, came back. I saw strong buyers step up. My risk is right under 195.60. Super solid trade. So we planned our trade and we traded our plan. And it seems like we had a really good sell. I was very patient. You saw that 5 minute candle go into a hammer stick candle. I waited for that 5 minute candle to close to really get majority of that move. And super solid sell. We sold him basically into that second push into the high day. So you can kind of see the divergence here. Like Apple and Tesla, right? Moving to the upside. Lost NVDA. Very happy with the trade. Something you would want to see, what I want to see to get that continuation, you kind of want to see something like this when you're holding your trades. And we broke this down perfectly yesterday. We want to see that. NVIDIA did that yesterday. Yesterday was a beautiful trendy day on NVIDIA, actually. You want to see the high day turn into support and then trend higher and get those dips bought up. Wicks to the damage, body tells the story. So we'll see what happens here on NVIDIA. I'm very open to trading Tesla, but I would, oof, it's a very conservative play. I would go in very light on this name. Yeah, technically you're still in this. Wicks to the damage, body tells the story here on NVIDIA. We're flirting with this 466. We're flirting with it. So we'll see. And this is why, I mean, I know I'm out of this trade, but I'm just trying to give as much info and teach as I can. This is why it's very, that's why you can't really look at your P&L when you're in a trade and you have to wait for the candle to close under your stop loss. Because I've lost in the past plenty of trades like this, and dude, it's annoying. It really is annoying. When you're right and you get squeezed out of your position, we fall under and it looks like a bearish candle and you stop out and it does that. It does that. So NVIDIA is still in play, right? NVIDIA is still in play. But this is why it's very important to wait for the candle to close under your stop loss. So for me, it would be under this low here, right? Under this low here. So this is solid. This is why I like leaving runners. Because if I leave runners and I see strong buyers step up again, I can add to my position. I hope that makes sense. That's it gets a little bit more, that's a little bit more advanced trading, like adding to positions on the second retest and stuff like that. But this is valid, right? As long as we're above 195.60, price is, our thesis is correct. So I'm kind of hoping we get that just so I can show you guys like, hey, wait for your candle to close under your stop loss. And this is why I say, treat your key levels like mini zones. You have to treat them like mini zones because if you just treat it on the dot, you're gonna get stopped out a lot. You're gonna get stopped out a lot. So there's no surprise here that we're seeing a 466.50 rejection on Tesla. We're still in this channel. We can't forget that. We're still in this channel. So we'd love to see that hold there. So far, kind of a decent week. The week's not over, right? So you look at the video. That is beautiful. That's exactly what you want to see. That's exactly what you want to see. That is beautiful. Look at that. Good break, good displacement, retest, hammer stick candle, buyer step up aggressively. This thing's pushing towards the high day. That's super solid. And then we're looking at a V-shaped recovery here on the overall market. Look at Qs. If Qs can break through this high day, that's this alert that I have set here. If this thing can break through this high day, a lot of these names can take off. Well, I would say NVIDIA. But overall, a lot of these names, honestly, are starting to, look at Tesla. Technically speaking, we're in a channel, right? Look at our key level on the dot. So we're not surprised we have a rejection there. So technically, we're in a channel. These are things I want you to pay attention to when you feel like things are a little slow. Let's look across the entire market, right? So Tesla in a channel, Apple in a channel. Took a good shot here on the video. I wouldn't necessarily say that it's forming a channel. Maybe tomorrow, if we sit in here, we can start to say that we are. But 1, 2, I mean, today would be day 3. If price holds above 195.60, that would be, pretty much 3 days in a row. We're sitting between 201 and 201.05 and 195.60. So that's happening. QQQ, last 3 days, really hasn't continued higher or lower. Market structure's in place. But you can see we've been stuck in between 626 and 612. Yesterday was an inside bar day in between the previous day high and the previous day low. And today we're starting to have an inside bar day, which means we're in between the previous day high and the previous day low. So technically speaking, we're forming a channel there. And then SPY, right? 3 days in a row as well. We spent 3 days in this channel up here. We broke, and now we're spending 3 days here. Yesterday looked really promising. Yesterday, I mean, obviously, like I said, that was the A+ long dip opportunity buy, but yesterday looked promising. This thing trended the whole day. It trended the whole day. So you can see here, starting to form a little channel, right? So when things are looking a little slow, let's just look across the board. And if we're not getting follow through on our plays and the overall market is stuck in the channel too, that explains why. So I hope that makes sense. Okay, cool. So hate to be a party pooper, but this is what I wanted on AMD. This is exactly what I wanted. You saw me break this down pre-market, explaining why. We Let me go in the daily, just so this makes sense. See this? We still got this gap. Like technically speaking, I mean, yeah, we had a pullback. This thing's falling hard. Well, the overall market's falling pretty hard. Technically speaking, we kind of had that retest during the pre-market. Not really on the dot, but price pulled back close enough off our key level. But see, we still have this gap to fill. We still have to retest this level. We can't forget that. So this is good. I wanted to see this on AMD. We'll see what happens. Straight downside. But this is what we wanted to see, at least me, right? And like I've been saying, right, we're in between the previous day high right now and the previous day low. So let's see what happens if price can pull back to 240.10. Since we do have a gap to fill, I kind of hope we fall under that and then reclaim it. So yeah, solid day. These names are intact. It's just the overall market's heavy right now. Let me show you the market. Overall market's very heavy right now. Like look at that. The first two 15-minute candles, straight downside. Straight downside. So we'll see. I wouldn't be surprised if we pull back to this previous day low and buyer step up and then push this thing higher. We see that all the time. But give me one sec. SPY is yeah, Apple doing nothing. Like I said, a good little tip. If price is stuck in between the first 5-minute candle, it's most likely going to be a consolidation day. And that's kind of what you're seeing on Apple. But no surprise on Apple. Apple's stuck in a range. I just know how Apple is. And when you least expect it, this crap's going to break out and just trend beautifully to the upside. That's just what I just know Apple well enough to know it does crap like that. So that's why I have it on my close watch. And we're really not that far away from our key level here. We're bullish bias. This thing's just consolidating. But like I said, it just made all-time highs. It just made new all-time highs. So this consolidation period before the next leg higher is normal. Right. So solid, right? Every trade that we've taken is off our pre-market plan, right? But the main thing I want you to see here is less is more, right? One trade a day is all you need. I'm very big on that. I'm very strict on that. That is a very strict rule. Tuesday honestly could have been a bigger day. I kind of botched this day on Tuesday. That's on me, but I journaled it. But go back and correlate these, with the pre-market plans, and then see this. And I'm only showing you this because I want you to know. Like I used to think, damn, bro, I need to take a lot of trades to make X amount. One trade a day is all you need. Take trades off a higher time frame key levels. Embrace the risk. Sit in your trades. Let them run. You see how I always switch to the 5-minute time frame in order to milk my trades, so I'm just not so focused on the lower time frame. It's hard to sit in your trade sometimes when that happens. So only 3 trades this week, and up almost 7K. Right, less is more. That's all you need. One trade a day. Walk away. Win or lose, walk away. For me personally, that is a part of my edge, only having one trade. Because if I lose and I take another trade, now I'm down X amount. Instead of taking my one loss tomorrow, I know the probabilities are going to be in my favor over a long period of time. I take a trade, I make money, and right, I made my losses back from the other day. So I just want to show you this. Like we're doing this together, right? The same trades I'm taking are the same trades I'm taking you, right? We took a trade on Monday off our 466 break. We took a trade following up on Tuesday off our 450 key level. Cash day yesterday, and then today, right after pre-market plan, a pullback long off our key level here on the video, and that's it. That's all she wrote. So just being right, just being patient. And like I said, like bro, if I can do this, you guys can too. I promise you. If I can, you can too. Just don't let FOMO kick in. Be patient, embrace the risk, embrace the uncertainty. Every day I come into market open, I write notes, and one thing that I write every single day is my job as a trader is to control my risk and control my emotions. I do not control the outcome of a trade. It is not my job to control the outcome of a trade. If I win, I move on. If I lose, I move on. Like I got that memorized like the back of my hand. I remind myself that every single day. I'm a good loser, right? That's like part of the game is you have to be a great loser, right? Don't revenge trade. Don't take a loss personal. Um, and that's all to it. So, but the lesson here, mainly from the video, that I really want you to take away is you saw me, right? This thing pulled back. I said, oh man, I really want that, but that's in a very aggressive entry, so I'm gonna pass. If this thing pulls back again, I'll take my shot. If it doesn't, oh well. It pulls back. I see buyer step in. I take my shot right off our pre-market game plan. We're risking off of 195. We get our push into the second high day. I would say this was like it really was the best sell. We got that push into the high day. I got out there, and as you can see, it was a good trade. It was a really good trade. That's all she wrote. We got in like around 195, and this thing pushed up to 197. Those columns moved into money, so solid day, right? And we can kind of see what's going on all around. Pretty much a choppy day on this overall market. We are pulling back, but like I said, it's an inside bar day. There's nothing going on Tesla. It's stuck in the channel. Obviously, Apple, nothing. And then we're still just waiting for this pullback here on AMD. AMD is just straight downside. So I think we ended up pretty much just taking our best setup. And right before market open, you heard me say, NVDA is really going to be my main watch just because this is the only name opening up near a key level, right? Like I said, everything else is noise if it's not near our key level. Right now, Apple is noise. I don't care about Apple. Why? Because it's nowhere near our key levels that we're looking to take a trade off of. NVIDIA, open, floating right above our key level. We ended up getting that instant retest here at market open. So very aggressive entry here. Like I said, I don't trade the first 2 minutes. We ended up getting that push. I thought this thing was going to run. Thankfully, got that pullback. Buyer stepped in, took our shot, risking off of 195, and that's all she wrote. So quick day here. It's not even 7 a.m. for me yet. I'll probably stick around for you guys. Maybe another 10 minutes. We'll see. Super quick day here, though. Okay, so uh, what we can see here on the video, right, is it's really no surprise because, like I said, as soon as we fall under 195.60, we are bearish bias on this name. Everything's pulling back. Market's very heavy right now, so I'm not really looking to take a trade anymore. Give me one sec. Okay, so SPY is back at our 673. It still has a mini gap to fill. We'll see. There are buyers stepping in. We'll see. Like I said, I'm very big on one trade a day. This thing's a falling knife, so I would have to see like strong buyers step in, like kind of like a base and then a curl. So what do I mean by that? I'll give you a visual on what I mean by like a base and curl. On a pullback long on a falling knife, I would want to see something like this, and then boom, something like that. So just buyers starting to defend this level, and then momentum kicks in. That's something I'll be looking for here if it wants to hold up. So we can see a wick stepping in here on the dot, which is really cool to see. So we'll see. On my right hand side, I'm looking at this thing on the 2 minute as well. Um, but I wanted to break down NVDA for you on the daily. I've been saying, this is a breaker structure now. There's no surprise. I've been saying for like the past, what, 2, 3 days, if we break under 195.60, we are bearish bias now on this name. This is a breaker structure. And kind of crazy. You can see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, bro. 6 days. 6 days, just red closed candles. Yesterday looked promising as well. Wish to the damage body tells the story. So on a technical standpoint, price did push all the way up to 202.92 on the video. It looked really promising. And then obviously, we pulled back to the bottom of the range, and then today we failed that. So game plan for tomorrow is a little different, right? It's a little different. Unless we can reclaim this 195.60, it's a little different on the video. Because now we're bearish bias, I would say. Like I said, I'm hands off anywhere in here. The reason for that being is this is just sideways. Like you can clearly see this is sideways. So tomorrow I'm open to like a pop and fade off of 195.60, but other than that, I'm not really looking to take a trade like anywhere in here. But that's a big give up here on the video. Because this overall market, SPY and the Qs is still very bullish. Still very bullish. I mean, you can clearly see, we still haven't even really got this retest to 612.80. So this pullback that we're seeing on the market right now is good. It's what we need. The market still has to fill its objective. Don't forget. Now, these are still, look at this, these are still gaps that has to be filled. So these are healthy pullbacks. Technically speaking, we still have not got our A plus long on QQQ. We still haven't gotten that. This is cool to see on SPY. Let me go here on the 5 minute. Look at that. Look at that. Buyers are trying to defend this on the 2 minute. We got a hammer stick candle here, right? Buyers are definitely trying to defend this. Can't make that up on the dot. Not one body candle closure under 673. That is beautiful. I can't take that just because I've already taken a trade and I don't really want to mess with this right now on a 0 DTE, but that is like, that's textbook, bro. That's exactly what you want to see. The thing here on Qs is, like I just showed you here on the daily, we still want Qs to pull back. That's the thing. We still want this name to pull back. We still haven't gotten that retest here. Right? We're still waiting for that to come in. We still got this gap. Remember we did this. That's still a gap fill that we have to fill. We still have to fill this gap. So truth be told, QQQ pulling back is kind of what we want to see. Yesterday we did get that opportunity on the SPY, but we're still waiting for our opportunity on the Qs. But if the SPY and the Qs want to be in sync, and SPY wants to bounce here because it's doing its best to defend to 673, I think that can just cause QQQ to go as well. But there's a little bit of divergence here. You can clearly see Qs is now under the previous day low. It's under the previous day low. But on the overall market on Qs, we want this pullback. We definitely do. So remember, this is still in play. This is still in play. This is our A+ long buy, dip buy on the Qs. Like, look at this on AMD. That's no coincidence, bro. It's no coincidence. Let's see, price pullback to 240.74. Actually 240.83. It depends on how big you want how much you want to risk, right? The deeper the pullback, the better. So your stop loss will have to be a candle closure under this. It's a Thursday, right? We're getting closer to expiration, so those contracts, they're gonna move a little bit more volatile. So, but if we just, break in base here and then curl up, wouldn't really be surprised. But on NVIDIA, I'm sorry, on AMD, remember, we still have this gap to fill. Remember, guys, I know the market's pulling back and it's like, oh crap, today's as you never know. No. Like, this is healthy. This is market structure. Like, this is honestly, if we can fill this gap and reclaim this level, this is the beautiful dip buy on AMD. Look at that. Boom, boom. That is the beautiful dip buy on AMD, right? The dip is your friend. We have like a nice bull flag setting up here. We're moving lower. That's exactly what you want to see. We want to see this gap get filled, right? Buyer step up, reclaim this, shoot this thing higher. That is healthy market structure. That's exactly what we want to see. Like, that's textbook. I see strong buyer stepping up here. No surprise. Like I said, I would be, depending on how you want to play it, right? Like, if you don't ever get a deep enough pullback, but you feel like you're going to miss the move, just scale down, right? That way you're able to take a 20% loss because it doesn't matter. You scale down tremendously. I hope that makes sense. So sometimes if I take a trade and I feel like, all right, buyers are stepping in aggressively and I didn't get a pullback deep enough, I just scale down. So this is the 5-minute time frame. I mean, this is beautiful. We knew this was coming. This is the pullback, right? I've already taken my trade, but like a lot of traders in the morning session, they freak out a little bit when they see all the downside. And it's like, no, bro, if you understand market structure on the higher time frame, this should make you excited. Like, look at SPY. That is crazy. Look at SPY, bro. We can't even make this up. Let's go here on the 2-minute. Actually, let me go to, no. Let me go to, let me look at this on the daily really quick. Look at that wick, bro. That is textbook. That is freaking textbook. Like I said, I'm passionate about this, so this stuff gets me excited. We just drew this out. We just drew this out. I want to see his base and then strong buyer step up. Can't make that up. We just drew that out. That is like, right? That's screen time. That's like understanding structure, right? Pull back. We're not going to just go long on a falling knife. I want to see his base and hold this level. Strong buyer step up. We drew that out before it happens. Look at this, right? I want to see that curl. Look at that curl. Buyers defending the 673. We didn't get a single body of the candle closure on the 2-minute under this. That shows us buyer stepped in very aggressively. This thing's pushing to the upside. That is textbook, bro. That's exactly what you want to see. Have you caught this on a 0 DTE? You're up very well right now. And then straight down equals straight up. That is textbook. Let's see, AMD, right? AMD kind of got to sit in that if you took your shot. Remember, as long as you're above 240.10, your thesis is correct. As long as you're above 240.10, your thesis is correct. Now, the only thing that I don't like about the SPY and the Qs is the Qs is in sync with the SPY. And that being said, when the SPY gets to bounce at its key levels and it holds and it shoots to the upside, Qs is going to follow. And the reason I don't like that is because Qs still has its objective it has to fill. We're still waiting for the retest on 612. We're still waiting for the gap fill on Qs. SPY already did that. SPY did really majority of everything yesterday. Look at this. There's no more gaps on SPY. They filled this gap here. They filled this gap here, right? And we got the retest. Technically, we're getting the retest again today. So, like, SPY filled its objective, right? Qs is the only one that, like, needs to pull back, retest, and fill this gap. That's the only thing. IWM's holding. I mean, just crazy here on the Tesla. Look at Tesla, right? And this is why we preserve capital and we preserve mental capital when we ignore all this crap, right? Like, it's 466 is a key level, man. It's a key level. If we get this set up tomorrow, I'm most likely going to pay next week cons just because I don't want to mess with Tesla on a 0 DTE sitting around here. But this is how you avoid, losing money, preserving capital, and preserving mental capital because it's just too much going on in here. It's too risky. You can look to take a long off of 450, but we're clearly in a channel. We're clearly in a channel. I'm kind of at the point where I might do something like this, where I might just do something like this. And now it's just, I'm not even focused on anything except for 466, right? That's even valid because look in here, there's nothing in here, right? We're sitting sideways. There's nothing in here. So I'm at the point where like I might just do that, kind of get rid of this 450, because I'm not going long off of it and I'm not going to go short off of it. So it's a key level I'm not looking to take a trade off of, but we know this 466 is our key level here. So what I'm looking for here on Tesla, just understanding market structure is like consolidation, next leg higher, and then maybe another consolidation period. But the only thing that's really keeping Tesla in play is we still haven't taken out this 488. We still have not taken out all-time highs. Key level here, I mean, just on the dot. Pretty much, besides yesterday, almost like every day, we've just been pushing up into 466.50, and we cannot hold above that level. We can't. So, like I've already broken down, we can't be surprised if we get a blow off top here. There's so much built up liquidity at 466. There's so much built up liquidity. We just can't be surprised. It's crazy. Right? No surprise here. No surprise here. This was a really strong level. This was a really strong level on NVDA. I've been saying we fall into that. That is a breaker structure. Never really got that retest on the pullback here, but you can see lower low. This thing's forming. This thing's trending lower, actually. This thing's trending lower. Lower low, lower low, lower low, lower low. This thing's trending to the downside. So, yeah, like I said, I was open to both ways. So tomorrow, if we're under this, I'm very open to a pop and fade. I'm very open to a pop and fade. But quick workday here. I'm pretty much gonna call it. I ended up taking a trade before 7 a.m. Was it? Yeah, it's before 7 a.m. So quick workday. I hope today like helped. I hope you're able to learn something. I hope my trade on the video made sense. That's really the main lesson. Well, there's a lot of key lessons today. I mean, just seeing our key levels get respected on the pullbacks, understanding market structure, not panicking when the overall market is selling off, but we're bullish on the higher time frame. We understand the market still has objectives to fill. The dip is your friend. How they say the trend is your friend. Lately, I've been saying the dip is your friend. If you watch my educational video yesterday, I said all of October, I don't think I took one short. I didn't short one thing, right? The overall time frame, right? If we're bullish, the trend is your friend, right? That increases the probabilities of your trades. So a lot of key lessons in here today, but I would say mainly is NVIDIA, mainly NVIDIA. Just me like sticking to my guns, sticking to my rules, and understanding like, hey, I don't want to be too aggressive. Like I always say, I'm a risk manager before I'm a trader. Whenever I take a trade, I do not care about how much money I will make, and neither should you. My only thing that I'm focused on is how much can I lose if this trade doesn't go my way, right? So I'm a risk manager before I'm a trader. The money will come. The losses, like I'm always on defense, right? You see me skip trades, you see me ignore trades because I'm always on defense, right? Preserve your capital. So the main lesson here is we ended up getting that instant dip and rip. This thing could have really shot to the upside. I thought I missed it. So be it. I stuck to my rules. I do not trade the first 2 minutes of market open. We ended up getting a super solid rally on that second candle forming. But at that time, it was 633. So for me, I'm thinking to myself, that's still very aggressive. And the overall market's pulling back. I need a little bit more time to read this story. I wait for it. We pull back. I see buyers step up aggressively. I risk right off of 195. My risk is tight. We ended up getting a push, roughly a 20% trade. And a great sell at that. We waited for that 5-minute candle to close to form a hammer stick candle. And great trade. Great trade. Another key lesson here. It's so cool that we're able to like draw this down in real time. There's no surprise, right? 673 is still our key level. That is beautiful. But the other key lesson here is understanding market structure, right? It's pretty cool we were able to draw this out. I knew what I was looking for. If I wanted this, I wanted this thing to base and then strong buyer step up. We drew that out on the dot before it happened and it plays out. That's the key thing here as well, is when you understand market structure, you're not going to let this scare you. I don't care about that, right? You build bad habits. I'm sure some people are probably like, okay, 1 minute ORB, breaking retest to the downside. Sure, right? On a scalp, absolutely. But this is your higher probability trade. That thing is valid. That's your higher probability trade. You're buying the dip. This can turn into a possible swing trade depending on the cons you buy. Like I said, this thing can sit sideways, it can chop, it can go up, it can go down. As long as you're above 673, and that's the level you're ripping off of, your thesis is valid. Oh crap. Wait, hold on. Oh crap. Okay, hold on. I told you, this is what Apple does, bro. Apple does crap like this. Okay. Here I am trying to give lessons and Apple wants to break out. Give me a sec. I need more displacement. This overall market is bouncing like crazy. Look at that. That is beautiful. This overall market is bouncing like crazy. So I want to see what happens here. I need more displacement here on SPY. I mean, I'm sorry, on Apple. But this one, like this is solid. I'm very big on like one a day. I guess I could have taken this for a potential swing, but this is cool, right? This is just as a trader, this is cool to see. You marked out your key levels well. You did your job. You built a great analysis and thesis around the trade. You see it play out. You know what you're looking for prior to entry. On a falling knife, I don't want an instant like retest of buyer step in aggressively. I want to see that base and then buyer step up. So for us to be able to draw that out before it happens, that's really cool. That's exactly what you want to see. Educational day for sure. I mean, I feel like every day is an educational day just because the market presents opportunities every day, right? You can learn even when you don't take a trade. Okay, so I'm open to taking a trade here on Apple. It has to be a super solid setup. Like, see that? That's just straight upside. 6 minutes. This is the high of the week so far on Apple. It's just been stuck in this channel. That's crazy. We barely broke out at 271, and the high of the week is this 271.74. So that should show you how long price has just been compressed in a range. Clear divergence here on Apple compared to everything else, right? We can clearly see that. Look at Tesla, downside, NVDA, downside, and then look at Apple. Let's see. Oof, I really want to take this trade, but I don't know, bro. There's no correlation between trades. My trade that I took on NVIDIA has nothing to do with my trade that I possibly would take on Apple. So let's see. I might give this a shot. Let's figure it out together. Let's see these Apple cons. They're about a dollar 60, one strike out of the money. Uh, just so you can see what I'm seeing. Yeah, about a $1.60. I want to see where this candle closed. Look at SPY, man. That is, like I said, I'm passionate about this. I love doing this. So to draw that out on the dot and like we knew what we were looking for over a week, right? It's been over a week. And yesterday, if you watch my pre-market game plan coming into today, I said this is trading, right? Waiting over a week for a clean setup, and you don't get it. But after that, I followed up by saying the market gives us an opportunity every single day. And today, it gave us the same opportunity. I mean, look at yesterday. Yesterday, we were a little bummed out. We didn't get that. It was a cash day for me. We never got that deep enough pullback. Today, what did the market do? It gave us another opportunity. A plus setup here. This is the dip buy. This is like, hey, I'm looking to possibly swing trade this. This is the dip buy. This 673. If you took this on a 0 DTE, you're definitely up 100%. I mean, these are 2-minute candles with momentum to the upside, 100%. So like that's a solid trade. That's a solid trade. We knew we were looking at this buy because Q's did not pull back deep enough to his key level. And 673, I've been preaching about this freaking level for almost a week, like over a week. So this is just understanding market structure, right? Like stuff like this used to freak me out when I didn't understand it and I wasn't trading off a higher time frame key levels. And you see the morning downside and you're thinking, damn, like we're bearish. No, we're not bearish. We're bullish and trending on the higher time frame. These are just pullbacks. That's all they are. They're just pullbacks. We see this every day. So that's super solid here on the SPY. Like that's clear displacement on Apple. This thing has a straight shot towards all-time highs. And it has the overall market behind it, which I like. Look at that. Finally, right? Finally. So we'll see what happens. If we can get a pullback here, I'm open to it. AMD, I mean, can't make this up, bro. AMD. Like, we know AMD is like Apple, it's a slow mover. But if you went long here, risking off at 240.10, you're sitting in the straight. As long as you're above 240.10, your thesis is correct. That's why when you sit in trades like this, you can't look at your P&L. You can't look at your P&L. You know you're long bias. You're in a high probability setup. You played the pullback long. That's beautiful. That's textbook. Damn. Now, another thing, right? Another thing. This is what I mean when I say, traders instantly look for the retest after the breakout. You always hear me say that. I don't care for that. Right? The number one thing is, say it with me, displacement. You want proper displacement. When you play the instant break and retest after an extension like this, you're just playing momentum. You're not playing the break and retest. And then you'll win a trade, and then you think, okay, this is what I need to do, but you're building a bad habit, right? So, and then another thing, this is a blow off top. This is a blow off top. You always hear me say this. We can't be surprised if we get a blow off top. Why? Because price has been compressed in a range. Look at this. Price has just been stuck in here. So you heard me say, right? That's a lot of built up liquidity. I think I said that for Tesla all week. Right? Every time we get to this level, just on the dot, sellers push this down. That's a lot of built up liquidity. So what does that do? We're loading, we're loading, we're loading. Boom. That's exactly what that does on those built up liquidity plays. So that's why sometimes, right? And we've seen it over a period of time, really a lot in October, or towards the end of October. That's why when we sit in these channels for so long and we get that big breakout, we never get the retest sometimes because of that. It's just a lot of built up liquidity and we get a blow off top. So I hope that makes sense. Now, this is what Apple does. I'm telling you, it always sets up like at the end of the week or on a Friday. I can't make this up. see. Yeah, so I might call it here. Market's really fast day for me. Some days it is, some days it's not. It's about to be 7:30. It's 7:29 on the dot. But most importantly, I hope you're able to learn something. I know I was going to cut this short, and then we got the breakout on Apple. So I guess you'll know tomorrow if I end up taking this trade or not. I am waiting for the retest. I'll see. I know Apple's a slow mover, but the reason I like Apple is just because look at all the thin volume. You see how we're looking at this straight up right now? I've been saying this, right? Straight up equals straight down. This is a great RR trade. There's nothing in its way. There's nothing in its way until all-time high. So super solid. What do I always preach? I want to see the top of this range, the top of this channel turn into support. That's exactly what you want to see, right? We did our job as traders. We avoided the channel, low probability environment. We get that breakout. We want to see this channel turn into support. That's exactly what we want to see for that next leg higher. Remember, we made all-time highs, right? So all-time highs, pullback, consolidation, next leg higher. That's beautiful market structure. Man, this thing's gone. You have 14 minutes right now of green candles to the upside, and then 4 minutes of like downside candles in this uptrend. Super solid. I mean, look at this 15-minute candle. Look at that 15-minute candle, bro. I don't know if this is a misprint or not. No, it's not. This thing went from 268.48 to 272. That's wild. Price opened at and this is Apple we're talking about, not Tesla. This thing opened at 267. I'm around that to 90, and now we pushed up to 272.94. That's crazy. That is crazy. But yeah, I'm gonna call it here. Like I said, if you want to take a trade off of 450, you can. This is a valid level. We're bullish bias on this name, but now we're just in a channel. I'd rather not. If you take a trade off of 450, even tomorrow, even today, right, or whenever, just know you got to treat it as a scalp because we're in a channel now. So the higher probability trade is just treating this as a no trade zone. NVDA is pretty exhausted. We'll see what happens tomorrow. 195.60 is still going to be our key level. We took the trade right off our pre-market game plan today. Super solid. And then what else? I think that's pretty much it. AMD's in play. Like I said, things are looking good now. Like all our tech names are back in play. All our tech names are back in play. Right? We got NVIDIA, we got Tesla, Apple, and AMD. So they're all back in play. As long as now, like if Tesla wants to sit in a channel, we're going to be hands off that name until it breaks over 466. If NVIDIA stays heavy under 195.60, I'm pretty much going to be hands off this name just because the price action under that, like it's just a lot of tight ranges under here. See that? Like I'd rather just wait. So tomorrow, the only way I will look for a short on this name is off of 195.60. Other than that, I'm hands off this name. Tesla, even if it gives up 450, we're bullish on this name until we fall under 410. You can clearly see the divergence here. These are trending lower. Apple's trending higher. Buyers are in control here. We had a blow off top. Won't be surprised if we don't get that retest. AMD's pulling back, which is good because this thing still has this gap to fill. This is exactly what we want to see, right? We still have this gap to fill. We can't forget that. Remember, we gapped up from here to here. So all we're seeing right now is just a retest and a gap fill. This is healthy. This is 100% healthy. So hope today made sense. Hope you're able to learn something. I hope you had a good day. Let's keep this momentum going. I don't care about my win percentage. I don't care about any of that crap. It's all noise. But I just wanted to show you, right, the power of one trade a day, the power of planning your trade and trading your plan. You want to have confidence and conviction in your trades. So when I wake up, like I say, the hard work is put in during the pre-market, during the after hours, when the market is closed, finding your key levels, doing your thesis. I have a composition notebook where I write down all my notes because it sticks more when you write it down, right? Why am I going to go long off of this level? Why am I going to go short off this level? That's when the hard work is put in. We want to be so relaxed and calm when market opens. We're just waiting to hit buy or sell. That's all we're doing. We see that every day. We're not thinking. We're just executing. We're just waiting to hit buy or sell, and that's it. So hope this helps. I hope you're able to learn from this. I enjoy doing this. So, please feel free. If you have any questions, always leave them in the comments. I'll get back to you. And yeah, let's keep this ball rolling. Very excited for the future. Thank you guys for rocking with me, for the support. And yeah, hope you have a good day. Let's keep it going.